Monday. So today is my 7th installment of Menopause Mondays, and I'm actually going to be talking about menopause and empty nester syndrome. And it's hard. But the whole point of this is not to be, oh, woe is me. It's to give you some concrete ideas of how you can manage it more effectively, because for all of us who are parents, it's going to happen. And if you're menopausal, it's just even harder because we're already in such a flux with our hormones, and we already may be crying a little bit more than normal. We already might be more aggravated than normal. We already might be sleeping worse than normal. And to also add empty nester to the mix is just really tough. Thank you guys for the hearts and for the love. So I'm just going to go over briefly what is empty nester syndrome, how it affects us, and a few things that you can do to help make that whole journey a little easier. So essentially empty nest doesn't mean to be just children fleeing the nest to lead their adult lives, whether it's for university or jobs away or whatever it might be. It can also be things that, when you join a care home, for instance, or when something massive changes in your life. It could be a favourite colleague leaving or retiring, and it can give you that sense of loss. And empty nest syndrome is really related to that sense of loss. And it is an area or a time of your life when you're going to go through some grieving, and how you grieve is entirely individual to you. I'm very lucky the fact that my daughter and I have a really close relationship, and I am quite emotional, and so is she. And so we were able to sort of share our trepidation and share our excitement and share our tears of just that separation that's going to happen. It doesn't mean she's never coming home again, but it's a new stage to her life. And as her mum, who wants to keep her as close to me as possible forever, it's tough. But I also know that she has to go and do her stuff. She's an independent soul, she's an adventurer, and she's got so much love to give. And if I kept her within my own little field, a hell of a lot of people out there wouldn't get that influence that she can offer, because she's such a caring heart. So, that's just my personal take on my daughter, and you will all have your own opinions and takes on your kids when they leave home. And I think it's really important to recognise that it is a loss in your life. It's a massive change, but also it's a change for them, which just offers them so much potential, and I think as a loving parent, we all worry about the safety of our children. If they're closer to us, we're a little bit more assured that they're safe and that they're not going to be meeting bad people, or that if something happens to them that isn't the best, we can pick them up immediately and help to comfort them. And having that distance it makes it more difficult too. So I think it's acknowledging the fact that this massive change is happening or has happened, and understanding that time actually does make it better, and giving yourself some grace. So the common symptoms of empty nesting, a bit similar to the menopause actually. You can feel really confused and dazed. My brain is an absolute sieve today, and it was yesterday. I felt physically, I took Ella to university yesterday, and I felt like I'd been run over by a truck about 20 times over. I felt exhausted. And so fatigue is a syndrome, exhaustion is a syndrome, sadness is a syndrome, irritability and frustration at things that wouldn't necessarily frustrate you is a syndrome. Sorry, not a syndrome. So I told you my brain had gone. Symptom. Literally, honestly, it's like a tea bag. So these things, you might start comfort eating. You may have lost your appetite. A lot of people, when they go through the empty nesting sort of years or months, it doesn't take years. It's weeks and months, days, weeks and months. Particularly if you go through it functionally and you pave the way, you anticipate. If your kids haven't already left home, watch this and get yourself prepared for when they do, so that you're better prepared for it. And I've completely again forgotten what I was going to say, but it does affect you on many levels, physically and mentally. So it is just about being aware of the fact that this change is going to happen, and to give yourself some grace, be kind to yourself, try and schedule time in your diary that allows you a bit of time to yourself and a bit of reflection time, so that you're not constantly frazzled and feeling like you're being pulled in every direction. Because, you know, if somebody had died in your family, you would have time off work and you would be kind to yourself. That's right, I was talking about comfort eating, wasn't I? Come back again. And it is, you need to, if you need to have that period of grieving the situation, how it's changed, then take it. And hopefully you have the right community that surrounds you at work, if you work, that will help support you through that. If not, schedule a couple of days off so that you've got that time to connect with those that are nearest and dearest to you, to just help you manage the immediate aftermath of them leaving. Little things like, so going back to comfort eating, yeah, you might have lost your appetite, but you might be hitting the cookie barrel, or you may all of a sudden within a week think, oh my God, I've got bloated, I can't fit in my jeans any longer. And that's probably down to the fact that you are filling that hole with food and drink. You know, for those of us that like a glass of wine in the evening, that glass might suddenly turn into 3 or 4. Just be aware of what's happening and give yourself some grace, but don't let it be an excuse to eat and drink all the stuff, because you'll only regret it 2 or 3 weeks down the line when you really cannot get into those trousers any longer. So there are things that you can do to help, and that day is going to arrive, and so it's a matter of preparing yourself. I find having an established morning routine is one of the best ways that I can deal with all sorts of things that get thrown my way. So even when my dad died, we knew he was going to die at some point soon. He had cancer. He'd had cancer for a long, long time. So I'm having a hot flush. If I've gone red, that's why. Menopause, hey. And I made sure I worked out every single morning, because it really helped. It just helped gobble up some stress hormones. It helped build that foundation of strength, I suppose, that I'd done something that was beneficial for me. I was also a young mum at the time, and I had to make sure I was firing on all fours for my children so I could look after them properly. And it just helped me somehow navigate that grief that happened, you know, leading up to the death of my dad and after he died. And same with Ella going to uni. I make sure I work out. It's my non-negotiable. It's my daily non-negotiable. I wake up, I have a pint of water, often with a juice of half a lemon squeezed into it. You need to rehydrate your system. When you've been in bed for several hours, your body's dehydrated. So one of the best things you can do for yourself is have a pint of water when you wake up, and ideally half a lemon in it, because it just adds to the vitamins and minerals. It gets your digestive system moving fast, or, you know, more effectively. And also it's delicious, and it pumps your cells up. Our body needs water. We need water in our bodies in order to make sure that our electrical and nervous impulses go around quickly and effectively. Same with, if you have a dehydrated body, your risk of a heart attack is much, much higher, because your blood can become more viscous and more sticky, and your heart has to push the blood through. It takes more effort to do that. So staying well hydrated is an absolute cornerstone of health. Work out, move your body. If workouts aren't your thing, just get out and do either a brisk walk, ideally something. The workouts that will gonna make you feel the best, that are gonna gobble up the stress hormones, are probably more cardio-based workouts. Certainly when I do a cardio workout, I get that biggest endorphin rush afterwards. Today actually it was just yoga, and is what I needed because I felt so exhausted. But, you know, when I'm really stressed, if there's something big happening and I can feel myself getting frazzled, certainly a cardio workout helps get rid of those ruffles, and I feel a lot better. Strength training, because you're going to be working a lot of the larger muscles of the body. That also gets your heart rate really pounding. That can also be a really, really effective way of exercising. But you do need to move your body. It's vitally important. It helps us detox, but it also helps gobble up stress hormones and it releases feel-good hormones. So, you know, as well as gobbling up the stress hormones, you're flooding your cells with endorphins. So definitely move your body. eat the right food. I know during times of stress, you're more likely to reach for the high sugar and maybe the more sort of refined carbs. Um, if you're doing that, make sure you've also got plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables in your diet so that you're getting the fiber, you're getting the antioxidants, you're getting the phytonutrients that you need, the vitamins and the minerals that are going to help support you, because your gut health is vitally important to your mental health. People don't understand how important gut health is. 90%, with my brain fog today, 90% of our serotonin, which is our feel-good hormone, gets created in the gut. And so if our gut isn't working effectively, it's really tough for our bodies to then help us feel better. Also, if you're eating food, for instance, even if you eat a really healthy meal, but you've not got good gut health already, your gut will not absorb the same amount of nutrients as a gut that is in good order already. So, if you're thinking, well, I'm eating healthy today, that's great, but you consistently eat a lot of processed foods and a lot of high sugar foods, that is going to have a negative impact as well on, obviously, on your waistline, but also on the ability of your gut to synthesize the ingredients that you're eating. So it's really, really important. I have a daily shake. You may have seen it on my Instagram. It contains a range of adaptogen herbs, which are incredibly important for giving us energy, but also helping us deal with stress. Adaptogen herbs are amazing at helping the body adjust to stressful situations. So they're not just there from a nutritional point of view, they're there from a mental health point of view. And as much as I love my shakes, one of the main reasons I drink my shakes is for mental health benefits. Yes, they curb my sugar cravings. Yes, they're high in fiber. Yes, if you don't like vegetables, they contain the equivalent of 6 or 7 bags of salad. So, they're full of goodness, but I drink them for my mental health primarily. That's it. If I had to choose one thing, it's my mental health. So make sure you are eating the right kind of foods. Obviously, drink water. Be kind to yourself. Like I said, schedule a couple of days off work if you know you're going to find that transition hard. Try and prioritize sleep. It might be tricky because you might be wondering or worrying that they're not settling in well. If you've got a child who is literally straight out of school into university and they're not the most outgoing, you're gonna be anxious that they're gonna settle in and make the right kind of friends. So you've kind of got to let them go out there and discover the world for themselves. But I know how hard that can be. So give yourself grace. Try and just be kind to yourself. Maybe I'm going out for a long walk after I've done this. I've got my family on board. I'm with my family at the moment. I'm here because I know they're going to help support me, and they have been brilliant. And Ella, if you're watching this, I'm fine. I love you loads, and I hope you're having an absolute blast. But I'm missing you as well. But that my being here with my family is great. So we're going to take the dogs off for a walk later, and we're all going to go and get a bit of fresh air. And being outdoors in nature is one of the best things that you can do. Ultraviolet is going to boost your vitamin D levels, which are also essential for a healthy mental attitude. So get outdoors, get amongst the trees. It's ever so good for your mental health. And having that space around you just gives you that chance to reflect and think, this is going to be okay. You kind of just have to accept, you almost have to have faith in the universe that your kids are going to be all right. And it's like, I suppose it's for all of us whose children have started to learn to drive, and it's the first time they go out by themselves and you're saying your prayers that they come home safe. Again, it's one of those things you kind of got to have faith that it's going to happen, turn out well. So, just allow yourself for that time of reflection, but try and just create a bit of space between the what ifs and the fact that it's probably gonna turn out absolutely fine. Have a really nice shower. Just stand in the shower for a while and let the water whoosh over you, and just that is also so therapeutic. I find an invigorating shower even more effective than a long bath. A long bath I find a little bit wallowy, whereas a shower, it's energetic, the water's pushing down, and it's one of those things, it just feels like you're taking off your layers of maybe frazzledness. and that shower just helps you come out feeling a little bit more human. So make sure, so drink your water. Ideally start the day with a healthy shake. Move your body, have a lovely, lovely shower and get outside and reflect. When you can, just sit down, acknowledge the fact that you've got these emotions, acknowledge the fact it's perfectly natural. Don't feel like you can't cry or you can't give yourself a little bit of grace. Just be kind to yourself. And I would lastly say, do something that fulfills you, whatever that might be, whether it's knitting, reading, going for a walk in nature. I mean, that serves several purposes. Surrounding yourself by a community of people that support you and uplift you, chatting to your best friend. I'm actually going to I'm going to put a collage together of all the photographs that I've been taking of the run up to Ella going to uni, and some of our scuba diving shots and our images of the videos and photos that we've taken while we've been scuba diving. And for me, but also for her, I think it would be fun just to sort of have this little collage together, because it's just like the run up to her launching into her university life, and really is a celebration, I suppose. So, and that's how I'm going to deal with it. I'm trying to, I'm not ignoring the fact that I do feel a bit yuck, and I am going to miss her because we do have a really close relationship and she's just great fun to be with. But she's still going to be coming home. She's not there forever. It's not really like she's been locked away in prison. So it's just acknowledging it's happened, and life continues. And I think with time, you will get used to that transition. Same with going, trying to just tie that back into menopause and empty nesting. Eventually your hormones settle down. Same with empty nesting. Your life will settle into a slightly new phase, and you'll be the one celebrating the achievements of your kids as they go out into the world and start living their lives, hopefully with gusto and fun and fulfilling their dreams. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope it's been helpful. Be kind to yourself. And if you've got any comments, or you want a shoulder to cry on, or you want to just chat to somebody who's going through exactly the same, send me a private message. I'll get back in touch with you. And if you've got anything else you want me to cover on a Menopause Monday, send me a comment or a private message. Sorry, leave me a comment or send me a private message, and I'll make sure to tag you in the episode that I do it, in order so that you don't miss it. Okay, have a fantastic day, everyone, and I will catch you soon.